Seek meaning to quit porn. I'm Dr. Trish Leigh, cognitive neuroscientist and sex addiction recovery coach. In this video, I want to break down two concepts and then, of course, give you a brain tip strategy so that you have a powerful action step to walk away and utilize right away. Okay, the two concepts. Number one is the seeking and searching behavior that you end up falling into if you've established a pornography habit. And that seeking and searching behavior, whether you know it or not, is impacting and influencing the way that your brain performs. So, number two is how you can take that behavior and turn it around so that it changes the way that your brain performs for the better, which leads us to your brain tip strategy. Okay, let's break it down. Number one, what am I talking about seeking and searching behavior? Well, if you've established a porn habit, I don't need to tell you what's involved physically when you hit the easy button and you go into the screen for a porn session and to get that dopamine deluge in your brain, that euphoric feeling that comes along with this flood of dopamine into your system. Well, the seeking and searching behavior begins long before you hit the easy button. It might be that you're replaying what you're going to look for when you get into the screen. Or you might think about different scenes or scenarios or acts and catalog them and kind of move through them. Now, this seeking and searching behavior is something that's happening, unfortunately, across the board in technology consumption. We do it on Instagram when we scroll, and the faster you scroll, the worse it is for your brain because it's getting this dopamine flood over and over and over by new, novel stimuli. And we know that porn is the highest level of stimulus. It's a super normal stimulus. So Instagram, Facebook, you're trolling through, even on Netflix or Movies Anywhere or any subscription-based, video consumption platform has it so that you seek and you search and you find and you look for the perfect thing. And we know that that's creating dopamine deficits in people's lives because that high stimuli and fast, constant searching and seeking impacts your brain. Now, what it does to your brain is it will put it out in the extremes of the electrical energy pattern. Your brain starts cranking fast. It becomes wired because you're scrolling through things and you're seeking and you're searching. By the way, this search is insatiable because it's producing dopamine, and dopamine is the pleasure seeking neurotransmitter. So it keeps you seeking and searching. And when you find something, you can only be happy with it for a little while because it sends you back into the screen to seek and search more. It's insatiable. It's never satisfied. It keeps you coming back for more. So here's the deal. More dopamine in the screen, the more you need to go into the screen to get more dopamine. It creates a dopamine deficit in your life because now there could never possibly be enough dopamine in your work that doesn't move that fast and stimulate your brain. You have a conversation with your partner or with your friends, it can't move. That conversation can't be as stimulating as what you're doing to your brain in the screen. It can't compare. Super normal stimuli in the screen, especially porn, normal stimuli in the world. Your brain gets attuned and linked to the super normal stimuli, which means the normal stimuli doesn't give you enough dopamine. And actually, it gives it a dopamine deficit where the dopamine goes low and cortisol, the stress neurotransmitter, goes high. So now your life becomes a stressor, which neurologically speaking and neurochemically speaking pushes you back into the screen for more of the pull of the supernormal stimulus that will keep you pleasure seeking literally forever. Okay, I'm beating a dead horse, but you get the point there, is that this becomes a neural mechanism of constant pleasure seeking that detracts from the pleasure and the happiness and the joy in your life on a neurochemical level and on an electrical energy level. Because if you keep seeking and searching using this high, fast energy pattern, your brain becomes wired and then it becomes tired and it starts to use the slow electrical energy pattern. And now you feel stressed out and anxious and overwhelmed and burnt out and simultaneously bored, which now that electrical energy pattern also pushes you back into the screen, which is pulling you in with the supernormal stimulus. Okay, so what do we do about it? Number 2, let's talk about this same mechanism. And if we stop using the neural pathways into the screen, what does that look like and what happens in your brain? Okay, so when you start to search and seek for meaning in your life, get on purpose. Like I always say, if you get on purpose in your work, with your relationships, and in your hobbies, if you do that, now you're teaching your brain that in the world is where the dopamine is. And yes, it is lower levels of dopamine, which your brain might have to get used to at the outset of leaving porn behind, but it will get used to it. You will get used to lower healthy levels of dopamine in the world that also exist with serotonin, joy and happiness, and oxytocin, connection, no longer isolation into the screen, but connection in the world to things and people that are meaningful to you. And so when you seek for meaning, that results in slower and lower levels of these neurochemicals, but in fact, they are longer sustaining and they stay around longer. Dopamine deluge, the flood, and you probably know what this feels like. You get that rush of euphoria and you feel great, but then not too long after, you feel like garbage because you've hit the dopamine deficit. It's hard and fast, but not long living. This perfect neurochemical cocktail that you can create by getting on purpose and seeking for meaning in your real life. It is lower levels, but it lasts longer. And if you stay on purpose and you continue to seek meaning in the world, you create a life of joy and happiness. And absolutely, it can happen. That's how you can find the perfect job and be happy in it. You can find the partner that is perfect for you and have happiness and connection with that partner. Yes, it can happen. And when you leave porn behind, your energy changes. You're no longer using the high and fast speed and the slow speed. Now you're using perfect medium speed, alpha in the middle. You're not swinging high and low anymore. When you're in the middle, what happens is you attract to you the things that you set the intention for. That's the real deal. So when you start seeking and searching for meaning, and then when you find meaning and you contribute to the world in a meaningful way, you develop empathy and gratitude and purpose and love. You come out of fear. The pain goes away because your self-worth increases from the inside out, and you don't have to go to anything external for validation or for control or for constant fantasy and seeking of desire. So here's number 3, your brain tip strategy for today. Write down in your journal the things that are meaningful to you. They don't have to be meaningful to your friend, your brother, your mother, your uncle, meaningful to you. And if it lights you up on the inside and it fires you up about the world, then it's something to go after. And go after that in your world. Go after it in your work. Go after it in the people you want to hang out with, and go after it in your hobbies. And let it come to you. When I started to be on a mission about porn addiction, I wasn't looking for this. This fell in my lap. And I'm like, you know what? Porn addiction? Why do I even care about porn addiction? Why do I care about porn? And there it sat in my lap. And in my lap, I went, yep, this is my mission. Yep, it's giving meaning to my life because I know this now, and I need the world to know that they're damaging their brains and they are messing up their lives because of porn. And so it fell in my lap. I sat with that, and then I got on purpose and I'm rocking it out. I'm trying to help people. And when I do that, I feel so good each day. Each day I want to get up and I want to work 14 hours, which I don't because I balance my brain, but I'm jazzed up. I'm on a mission in my work. I love hanging out with my peeps. I make sure I spend intentional time with my peeps every single day. Last night, went to see the new Batman movie. That was intentional 3 hours with my boy Seamus, and we had a great time. I accidentally chose the Dolby Sound cinema, which was mind-blowing. They call it sound you can feel, and that is totally true. It was absolutely amazing. Sound that moves. Those cinemas are totally cool. And this movie it's an artisan movie. It was awesome. 3 hours, I enjoyed every minute of it. But I didn't go because I was going to seek out pleasure of this movie. I went for the happiness of driving over with my son Seamus and spending time with him. Absolutely amazing. And the movie was great too. So it was a twofer. So get on purpose. That's meaning. I meaningfully, intentionally spent time with him and we both had a great time. Actually, the hubs came too. So all three of us had a great time. So, and hobbies. Shay loves to watch movies. He's a movie dude, and I enjoy them too. So does the hubs. So movies are a thing that we like. Intentional. I encourage you to do that. Write it down. What are things you like? Maybe you like movies. Maybe you like playing pool. Maybe you like darts, chess, stand-up paddleboarding. Summer's coming. I'm getting my paddleboard ready. I'll be out on the lake pretty soon. Find what makes you happy. Go do it. Happy, not pleasure and desire. Happy, joy, peace, love. Okay, that's what I want for you because you know what? I know you can have it if you want it, but step number one is you got to come out of the screen. It will rewire your brain to find the dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin in the world and no longer need to go back into the screen. When you seek meaning in your life, you no longer will be in this constant pleasure seeking loop to offset pain. I know you can do it. If you're looking for help in this journey, please reach out to me, drtrishleigh.com, because I am here for you. There's programs in all shapes and sizes, and there's low investment up to a higher investment because there's more content and more time with me. But no matter what program you choose, if you're interested, I want to help you leave the screen. Okay, as always, remember, control your brain or it'll control you.